we want to tap in to what's the closest manifestation of our true nature that we can have. What type of lifestyle, what type of personality can we create that will give expression to the attributes that we assume the intelligence that created life would appreciate. And from that perspective, we become of service to humanity, because then we're thinking from a perspective that is for the good of humanity. We're no longer thinking on individual level. When we're thinking on the individual level, then the language becomes reward and punishment. Then the language becomes what's in it for me. And that's the language of the ego. That's the language of an interpretation of self that hasn't yet realized that each individual is a part of a collective. Each individual has to surrender to the true meaning of what life means before they can even gain access to themselves, before they can even gain access to their own experience. And so we want to become the version of ourselves that the intelligence had in mind to create. And therefore we worship that intelligence. We worship the name. We worship the source, the thought, the creation that the creator, whoever he might be, wanted to create in this world. And the evidence is us. We are the evidence that he wants something. And we are also the evidence of what he wants. So right now when we're experiencing life on the collective level, we're still experiencing the peel, we're still experiencing the klipa, meaning that this tree called humanity, this tree that's going to give the most beautiful fruit, is not yet ready, is not yet complete. And therefore the intelligence that's driving it is not yet ready, is not yet complete. And therefore as the intelligence tries to configure a way of collective behavior where everybody benefits, it causes a lot of different types of harm because it doesn't fully understand itself. It doesn't fully know what's required in order to create that society. But that society has already been envisioned before life was created, because life is evolving to something. Life already has a form. Life is coming with very specific details about who it is and what it means and how it works. So even though we don't understand that language is real, that language is talking. That language is going to eventually become understood. It's going to manifest into the reality that it always was. And so we want to create from ourselves, from the clay, which is our organs, the clay, which is our limbs, to create an interpretation that we think, we believe, the Creator would want His creatures to have. And this is easily known, this everybody can come to the appropriate conclusion, but it's been stated more than enough times that what He wants from us is kindness. What He wants from us is to be able to unite, to see beyond ourselves, to see the bigger picture, to understand that we are part of something more, and not to lock ourselves out in our imagination as if we're an individual entity, an entity that exists somewhere that's an island that's disconnected from the rest of reality. Because that imagined image doesn't have any reality. It doesn't have a place where it can exist in the world that was created by the Creator. It can only exist in the mind of a human being. And so this perceived self, this imagined self that is separate from everybody else, is what stands between us and the will of the Creator. This is what keeps us from having access to the deeper intelligence that created us. Because He doesn't see life from that perspective. That perspective doesn't really exist. Everything is working together with everything. Everything has an influence on other things and is being influenced by other things. It's all one big entity. It's all one big unit. And when we're going to figure out the settings for this big unit, then we're going to be able to experience life for the first time the way it was meant to be experienced. May it be so.